You know, it's so wonderful to just recognize, even as we started this morning singing that chant and just anchoring that chant, that there is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. You know, when we are free, we are able to value and empower all. And as Dolores was saying, and as each of you have mentioned in your own way, when we look at the all that all is, and we're able to value the lesson that it brings, the joy that it brings, the peace that it brings, sometimes the pain that it brings. And when we add value to that, we actually do live a joyous and fulfilling life. And so as we take on our own vision and mission statement this week, the encouragement is to really look and ask myself, am I valuing and empowering all? Is this situation a situation that I get to value and empower? And you know, it really ties in beautifully with our monthly theme. Centers for Spiritual Living as a whole has a monthly theme for October. And that monthly theme, we get to speak on it each and every week, and centers all over the world have an opportunity to speak to that, so that together our consciousness jointly is connected. And so for the month of October, we're looking at cosmic connections. No, this is not a new dating app. Well, where did you meet? Oh, we met on Cosmic Connections. It's the new dating app. No. I'm cracking myself up. Don't mind me. And this week in our Cosmic Connection, we have an opportunity to look at week one's theme, Just Like Me. And I'm so grateful that that our beloved practitioner, Jan, was so in line with our theme, Just Like Me. So knowing that you're a reflection of the infinite self, you can move toward an understanding that everyone around you reflects yourself or reflects you. And the way that I actually want to tweak that as we leave this up for just a moment, you know, you are not only a reflection of the infinite self, but you are the unique, unrepeatable way that life, that God, that spirit, that prana, that Atman present, you are the unique way that this life source is expressing. So not only are you a reflection of, but you are the thing itself in human form. Thank you, Rev. I love it. Reverend Kevin just is so on it. You are the unique way that God shows up in human form. And we reflect one another. And so the second bullet point there is, just like me, everyone is doing the best they can with what they have in the time that they have. Now, I know for me that sometimes I look around and I say, no, that person is not doing the best they can with what they got. And I have a judgment, or I have a story to tell about it. Because, you know, they say, if you know better, you do better. But some people know better and they still do the same. That's kind of where my mindset goes with that sometimes, right? But we're if we take that a little bit deeper just for a moment, we actually get an opportunity that, you know, sometimes it takes a while to walk our talk. Sometimes the talk, we have to talk it out, and we have to actually begin to assimilate. And assimilation takes some time and takes some practice. And then the third talking point here is that when you can find compassion for yourself in doing the best that you can, you're able to transfer your compassion to those around you. And so it just fits in so beautifully to our vision and mission as well. So take a look now, based on these three things. You know, we're constantly hearing the mind, body, spirit connection, this cosmic connection. And When I say that you are the unique and unrepeatable, magnificent, perfect, divine way that life is showing up, many of you will look and say, no, not me, or maybe that person, or maybe you, because you've gone through school and you've meditated and you have a practice and things of that nature. But this is the truth for each and every thing, because everything is the way that God expresses. Now, some of us are a little more consciously aware of it than others. But irrespective as to whether one is conscious of it or unconscious of it, it is still the truth that right where you are, the person sitting in your chair is the unique and unrepeatable way that God shows up in human form. Then what does that mean about you? What does that actually mean about who you are? And then if that were the truth, even if you don't believe it right now, but if we were to play the what if up game, meaning what if, and we look up, and what if that were the truth about who we are, instead of the what if down and doom and gloom, but if we were to play the what if up game and say, what if that were the truth about who I am? What if I am the unique, unrepeatable, perfect, magnificent, powerful, amazing way that God shows up in human form? What would that mean about me? What is possible then for me if I'm living from that place? What if that were actually the truth of who I am? And then if that is the truth of who I am, then what does that mean about you? Or like the kids back in the day would say, I know who I am, but who are you? Who are you? So to the degree in which this cosmic connection, to the degree in which I actually use some spiritual tools for my own personal transformation, to the degree in which I use prayer and meditation and affirmation and contemplation and sacred service and visioning and visualization, to the degree in which I use these sacred practices to anchor the truth of who I am, and I'm there making this connection, when I recognize that when I strip myself away from all of my demographics, too bad I'm not passionate about this. When we disassociate ourselves, when we strip away all of our demographics, what do I mean by demographics? Okay, who you are is God in the flesh. Who you are is the unique and unrepeatable way that God shows up in human form. But to the degree in which you still want to hold on to, I'm white, I'm black, I'm Latina, I'm rich, I'm poor, I'm differently abled or disabled or able-bodied, or I'm middle-aged, or I'm old, or I'm young, to the degree in which we want to say, oh, I live over here, or I live over there, to the degree in which we want to hold on to, oh, I'm Republican, or I'm Democratic, oh, I'm liberal, to the degree in which we want to hold on to, I have a degree, I'm educated, I'm uneducated, to the degree in which we hold on to our demographics, I'm a U.S. citizen, I'm not a U.S. citizen, I have this, I have that. To the degree in which we hold on to our demographics, we will never, ever realize that we are the unique and unrepeatable way that God is showing up in human form, because we're holding on to the little things of who we are. You are not your age or your race or your gender or your sexual orientation. You are so much more than that. When we strip away all of those things, and when we empty out, and when we recognize that right where we are in our internal self, and then everywhere present is prana, is life force. This life force has no age. It is eternal. It has no race, no sex, no gender, no national status. It doesn't belong to one religion. It is life itself. And it is occupying this body. Oh, by the way, This body is the one with the demographics, but who I am and what animates my body, what enlivens me, that life force is perfect, is whole, it's complete. And having that cosmic connection and recognizing that that is who I am, and starting from there, starting from that point, that's my starting point. That's not where I end. And so no wonder it gets difficult and challenging for us when we have people in our lives sometimes that remind us of stuff that we are so much bigger than, right? And when that happens, when that occurs, if we could only begin to use that as a reminder of the truth of who we are, and then a reminder of the truth of who they are. That's why that exercise and that spiritual practice that Jan brought us to this morning was so powerful. That just like I am doing my best, that person before me is doing their best with where they are right now. With where they are right now. They might not be woken up. Okay, all my educators chill out right now. Be like, what is that? Woke. All my educators, don't worry about proper English here. We're talking feeling. We're talking the language of the heart here. You know, the person before us might not be woke yet. You know, they still rubbing their eyes. They're still in a deep sleep, in a deep coma of thinking that they are who they are. They're thinking that they're their demographics, living that out fully, when they haven't necessarily realized that they are the unique and unrepeatable way that God is showing up in human form. And that there's no need to argue, to fuss, to fight. There's no need for all this, you know, all this little pettiness. Okay, let it be. Let the cards fall where they may. There's no need to fuss or fight or argue. Yeah, but you don't know my sister. Right? Yeah, but you don't know my sister. Yes, but you don't know my neighbor. Yes, but you don't know my cousin. Yes, but you don't know my friend. Whoever that person is, right? Yes, even them, right where they are. And that's my great reminder. That's my great spiritual practice on a regular basis. On a regular basis. Because in the biggest scheme of life, and in the smallest scheme of life, there is one life. That life is God. That life is my life now. That life is your life now. And as we begin to then dedicate daily time to practicing our affirmations, to singing those little songs that remind us of the truth of who we are, to having our affirmations and reminding ourselves on a regular basis of who I am. And because this is who I am, then this is who you are. Those are the cosmic connections. You know, I'm reminded of Jesus the Christ in the story. And the story of his last day in the physical realm, as he was there with the other two who were being put to death. And he made the statement, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." And what if we could actually take on that attitude when we're hurt, when someone brings pain, or when we're reminded that we have some healing to do? Because if we're the one in pain, we're the one in pain. If we're the one hurt, then we're the one hurt. But imagine if we can take on that kind of an attitude. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. How about forgive them, for they know not who they are? What if we can remember for them? What if we can remember for ourselves? The question then becomes, and it turns upon me, is Knowing what I know and being part of this spiritual community, the question then turns on me. Am I doing the best that I can? Ouch. 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 That might be, I'm trying to be very inclusive, all the high pitches, all the low tones. Ouch. That might be the one question that really sets us on the trajectory to our own healing and recognizing our own wholeness is, am I doing the best that I can? Am I doing the best that I can? Because it has been said that we are each other's reflection. And so when something comes into my life that I'm not particularly pleased with, am I willing enough to say, wow, that's my reflection right there. What is it? Am I doing the best that I can? What is it about this situation where some healing and growth gets to come? And when I am then in that place of my own recognition of my own wholeness, the divine perfection that lies within me, when I then too can look at myself and say, I am doing the best I can with what I have, and then can really say, this person before me is also doing the best they can with what they have. This person before me wants happiness. This person before me has had pain. When I can be in touch with, oh, and believe me, I've had pain in my life. I know about struggle in my life. I know of hurt in my life. In my lifetime, I know about not being treated fairly. In my lifetime, I have experienced discrimination and oppression. And I get to ask myself, if it's true that hurt people, then where have I done the same? Where have I slighted someone? Where have I not been kind? Where have I maybe chosen my friends instead of maybe choosing and or hiring the person that is qualified? Where have I done what was done unto me? Those are cosmic connections too, but not the kind of cosmic connections that actually lift humanity forward and move humanity forward. What I have experienced in my life, I don't want to wish upon anyone. Unless, of course, it's the joys and the triumphs. I wish that on everybody. May you experience love. May you experience joy. May you experience peace. Those kinds of cosmic connections is really what we want to experience for ourselves, and then to also see happening for others. Now, ultimately as well, I also don't want to get to that place where I am, quote unquote, spiritually so advanced, right? That I'm no earthly good. That I'm so up in the ethers and up in the clouds that, you know, you got to tether me just to keep me grounded. No, it's not about that. It's not about looking down our noses at those who are just starting out on their spiritual path, or those who are still in coma or asleep or unaware. Our job, our work as spiritual beings, as a spiritual family, even though we're not related, we are related, because that same life force in me is that same life force in you. That same God in me is that same God in you. That connection is important. We may not think that we're related by blood, but ultimately we are indeed one cosmic family of choice. And we get to choose one another. There's a great practice that we have in 12-step tradition. And that is when we look and we look to see if there's any resentments, if there's anybody who we still have issue with. I like to put it in this way. Is there anyone in your life that does not have safe passage through your mind? So in other words, if you're thinking about someone and they're just kind of like walking through your mind, do they have safe passage? Can they get through without darts, cans, tomatoes, like the old vaudeville, being thrown at them? Traps, demise happening. And if there is, I'm going to invite you to begin, not with them, but to begin to love yourself. To picture what it is about them that they have maybe done, or who they are, how they show up in life, and see and ask yourself, is that something that I've done too? And that the forgiveness work begins here. The love work begins here. That I begin again to remind myself of the truth, that I am the unique and unrepeatable, perfect, magnificent way that life is showing up in human form. And that as I begin to love myself and begin to recognize that about me, that the deeper and the more profound that is in my life, that I begin to recognize that that is the truth of all life. Right where you are, beloved, is the perfection of God. Act like it. Be it. Shine it. Know it. Make that divine cosmic connection first. That is where the kingdom, if you will, or the queendom, or the reign, that is where the Most High abides. And even though we've been taught elsewhere to start out there, we must start here. We must make that cosmic connection here. We must be in touch with the prana, putting aside our demographics and recognizing that what is in here is in each of these squares, each of these squares, each of these faces, each of the people that we see, that we encounter, that all life is that divine life. That is God, that is prana, that is life force, that is the Atman present. You are the unique and unrepeatable way that God shows up. So we get to act on it. We get to live it. We get to be it. And we get to treat others in that same way. So let's just take a quick moment to go into prayer. How grateful I am in this moment for this word that has come through me, recognizing the one power, the one presence, the one life that is God, that is expressing magnificently and perfectly in, through, and as my life. And as this is my truth, I know that this is the truth for each and every one of us, that God is the unique and unrepeatable expression of each and every life, each and everything. Therefore, I speak the word now, simply granting us and blessing us from this day forward, knowing that it is from this place of wholeness, from this place of oneness, and from this place of peace that I now accept and declare and call forth in our life the experience of love. There is only love. And by valuing and empowering all, we inspire a joyous and fulfilling life. So we say yes to practicing these tools for our personal and for global transformation as we awaken ourselves and as we awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. For I believe and know that we are indeed creating a world that works for all. So blessing us as we are blessed, I give thanks for this time together in celebration of life itself and in remembering the truth of who we are. For this and so much more, I give thanks. I let it be so. And so it is, and so it shall be. Look forward to all of your blessings. Look forward to all of your joy. Look forward to treating and loving humanity as the perfection in which it is.